Well,
Sure. Depends which clock you go by.
What time? 4 o'clock.
All right. We'll bring the management meeting to order for July. Is everybody here?
No Adam.
Public comment. No public comment. Okay. County farm management issues. Paul called me yesterday. They are right now out there digging to find out what they can find out on the tile.
It ain't mine, is it?
Yeah, it's you.
I thought I had mine turned off.
So, we may know something more about that tile issue under the road.
Where are you standing on it? It's not working or what? Isn't it fixed? What?
They were going to have a guy with a camera come so that they could see what was going on.
Okay.
So, and they were down there, I just came past there, they were there. The camera guy was supposed to be there right around 1 o'clock. So he said he probably wouldn't be here. So. All right. Anybody else do anything on the farm?
Tell them to spray their beans.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to talk about it here later on, but I laid a copy of the budget sheet for the farm on your table. I guess my questions are, there's no expense year to date for fertilizer. Are we thinking there's going to be some in the fall? And I'm not sure what to do about forecasting through the end of this year and then into next year. We need to address that, like some sort of estimate for fertilizer or any other farm costs for next year. I assume the waterway issue is done?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's out, but that's got to be addressed, is how to budget for that farm.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of times, you know, they may put some on during the summer. It's beans, so, you know, you wouldn't have your anhydrous or anything, but they'll probably do most of the fertilizer in the fall, which means...
And they turn right around and pay us. That's why it's in the budget that way.
They pay it, but no, we pay it.
We put it on, we pay it, and they reimburse us by the following March 1st. That's the way the contract is. We determine what gets put on, we contract to have it put on.
Okay.
And again, we didn't do something, we didn't do
We did a
anything in
soil-
the spring, we did soil analysis, and we did...
Well, it may have gotten too late in the spring, I don't know.
Well,
When did we
to
do
raise
that?
soybeans, they don't put fall
Well,
fertilizer.
yeah.
But, didn't we open some bids? Adam sat there, we opened some bids for something, was that last fall?
That was for the soil testing.
That was for the soil testing, you're right. That's right.
Well, they usually put a lieutenant put together what he would like to put on for fertilizer and present it to us so we can budget it that way.
Well, it'll be whatever the soil test requires, and then if they want to go above and beyond that, they can.
We're not having it tested every year though, are we?
I think we do it every couple of years, from my understanding.
Didn't we talk about every third year when the lease is renewed? Or,
Now, that doesn't necessarily stop them from testing it if they want to test it themselves. Well, I will get a hold of him and tell him we need some numbers this month, right? When? What's the latest we can have?
Well, budget hearings are the end of this month. They haven't set yet, that's set tomorrow at finance, they'll determine when the budget hearings are. So, by the end of the month, I'll meet them.
Okay. Anything else on the farm? And we'll go to capital improvement projects and probably just tie that in with the maintenance supervisor's report. So, Larry, you want to start?
Leaking. And if we can get on it, it's going to be more interesting next spring. Plus, they are going to do. I believe we have to turn around R22 there. And R22 is going to be leaking on that one go over it. The quantity of R22. So, this year or next spring, I'm not going to be at 15 next spring.
Okay. Well, what are the chances of getting it done yet this budget year?
Wait till September.
Well, how much?
How
would you?
Cheaper if we can, one that get around, things like that, so it'd be nice to fix it well if we can go on it.
How is your budget looking?
I'm sorry, I forgot to give you here. His repair budget, let's see, what do I have that? So Larry's budget, what, 40%, $15,000, $32,500 budget, that should be here. You look right in that column there.
Okay.
My money's going over to the judicial. Look at that, that's the back, I'm going to look at that more. You need to be there. It's like a break money. I think all of them put in here, and don't hold. I'm trying to find off of it. It's pretty easy, go back, from the jail, Are your sidewalk issues too?
Can you lift them railings out of the holes?
Well, I got them all down.
They make, you can get it at Fastenal. They make a two-part epoxy. Like if we get light poles come down, we'll drill out new holes. and set the anchor bolts, fill the holes with the epoxy, and then set the anchor bolts, and they'll seal. You won't have any leakage or any seepage. Salt?
I don't think it's all. Cranberry bush back in 64.
For 50 years, probably.
It's got to That's come up before. We've patched and... So you're talking about the back courthouse steps and the front jail steps? Front courthouse steps, okay.
Those were marble, right?
No, granite.
Okay. Any others?
One is
How big of a... 4 inch?
Should probably open up for bids for that much money.
Well, this is just for budgeting for next year, is all we're doing. Yeah.
This is about the chiller, sounds like something you ought to have to do with this year's budget.
If at all possible, yeah.
That's my opinion, I think we wait till next year to cost us maybe $5 million. Well, that's why I said, it sounds like they would do it this year, you got room in your budget too, so.
And if it gets close, we might be able to steal some money from someplace. Not sure where.
Well, what do you think?
Every time I get it, they say the next one will be more expensive, so it needs to get done.
I would comment, however, I think it might be better after we get through budget hearings that if you have some numbers in August as opposed to September, you know what we've run into before, Larry, and we run out of time before the new budget is approved.
I guess the big thing would be to tell them as soon as the weather's fit, come and do it.
If we can fit in this year's budget, we should do it.
Right. Right. And where do they gotta come from? Yeah. And they don't happen to work on Saturdays, do they? But it costs you.
Putting up the farm.
No. I guess.
Unless, excuse me,
Go ahead.
if they're working, say, on Columbus Day, and this place is closed down, and by then it might be cooler, and, I mean, if nobody's here, I guess it really doesn't matter, but October, usually around the 10th.
the first Monday in October. I was trying to think of when there was another holiday. Well, they're not going to work Labor Day because that's a major holiday. And Election Day, we're closed down. That's in November, but this place is open. I don't think we're open across the street on Election Day.
Do your best to schedule it and try to get it this year, I guess, is what we'd like. But yeah, if we can keep on schedule where we do that one year and this one year, helps a lot.
I've got Fort Jail parking lot reseal in 2014 was $17,500. 2020? It'll be 2018, not 17? 2014. 3 years, okay, that's 20,000.
Anything else? Everything else is going good? Clyde? So we want to put the same amount for heat pumps as this year?
Yeah, because it's definitely on back now.
What was it, 25?
Well, yeah, we had 45 in 2016. Actual in 2015 was 23,000. It was 22,960.
Do you know, what were they averaging when you put one in? How much do they average when you put one in?
Which is probably on the side. Support was a lot like that. We'll walk over it for you. But the one public health is not
So if we budget for 3 of them again, that's 30,000?
How badly is it acting up? Is that something that you feel is bad enough we want to try and get it out of this year's budget?
It's one that we had board place board that ran fine and so it's called and basically he got on the company transaction. They were not able to figure out how to deal with some wire and stuff. They'll allow it to go in cooling mode. So, him being old school, he was able to put some jump on whatever. So, we got on that back. Easy, then that jump and take it back off. So, that's the way it's going right now. There's nothing mechanically wrong with the unit. The compressor's fine, the fan's fine, everything's fine in here, but effectively an old unit and send them just replace the system or something in the wire and they can't get it to go right.
So how much does it cost us to have him keep coming and doing that? Every time he comes and does the jumpers and...
Well, they're replacing board, or they have to come back on that.
Can you take the jumpers off this fall when we start to heat?
If you want to continue to run that way, I'll just take it off. The run fine.
Oh, it does with the jumpers on?
Yeah.
So we could leave it go like this until it dies?
That's a suggestion.
Well,
What happened with the board? Did they order the wrong board to start with?
I'm sorry, was that the board?
What was the issue with the board and wiring was matching up? Did they order the wrong board?
I think it's capacitor. For the compressor. Relay for the compressor. So.
But the new board was different to the old board, is that correct?
Correct. They don't make the replacement board anymore, so they send the replacement board wire.
that's,
Switch the wire. It should say something like that.
right.
I'm picturing alligator clips.
There's still money in the budget this year to replace one, and that's the only one acting up?
Yeah, I don't think that,
This year's budget is $45,000, so it's actually 3 to 4.
We've only replaced one so far.
Last year, wasn't it, at the end of last year?
I have no expenses this year. Was that last year, public health?
I think we did that at the end of the year, didn't we? Take that out of the budget at the end of the year, because there was discussion about, right, because it was still running, and we again had the discussion about, do we let it run till it dies, or do we replace it before the weather gets bad, I think.
Well, I guess, my opinion would be, we know how old it is. Obviously, the parts are not readily available for, like, circuit board. If we've got the money in the budget, I mean, we've been lucky so far that we've only had a couple every year, but every year they get old. One of these years, we're going to have 4 of them go bad on us or something. So, you might want to look into getting some prices, and then maybe they can get it done between heating and cooling season, and then it's done and we don't have to worry about it. That's my thinking. What does anybody else think?
I think what you just said is the reason why we had the budget set at 45,000 though, because we were expecting that one of these years it will catch up to us. We've been lucky and haven't used up that budget money, but I think 45, in my view, 45,000 makes more sense. Especially since that's what it's been the last couple of years with the same logic or reason.
But
With regard-
do we want to replace this one this year in this budget?
That's a hard question to answer. The service manager, no. He said let it run.
Yes. And I've told people that
And your opinion probably implies that what carries more weight because it's both more familiar with the equipment and what you might expect in terms of going forward, how long it'll last.
Well, a lot of times I'll tell people to run it till it dies, but that's in their own home where they can make that decision. Whereas here, you're dealing with the public and everything else. And
What area is your service?
Service breaker right now. The kitchen.
Well, I agree with Lyle from the aspect of the money's there and what he just said about being open to the public, and we just, the USDA is, you know, they expect to have that running as well as for the convenience of our people. But what we're accomplishing by changing these out is we're spreading out the ages of the units. So down the road, where these were all new and now we're holding our breath waiting for a bunch of them to go bad, down the road the age of the units will be spread out, and we would reasonably expect not to be hit all at once with huge, 4 or 5 of them going out in a year as they age. And you're always going to have the exception.
How many are left that are to be replaced?
How many are in total?
25 or 26, something like that, I thought. We must have replaced at least 6 of them by now.
I know that has no fiber. One service truck.
What's the normal life expectancy on these?
New ones won't last as long as the old ones.
Right. I mean, the old ones, once you get past 20 years, then you can start expecting some maintenance issues.
And that's what we are.
Yeah, the newer ones, once you get past 10 years, you can expect some maintenance issues.
And wasn't there an issue with the one in the assessor's office? That's where it started, because we had doors open and heaters going and everything. So there's 3. One last year.
Treasurers, county clerk, our office, public health. That's off the top of my head.
Right. I see. So this is,
I would guess 2013, looking at the trend of cost.
And what area is this for again?
Serves kitchen, bedroom,
I guess it's not something we need to,
I'd say let it go.
you know,
You know, the thing is, I mean, huh?
Maybe it along.
Well, if you put a new board in it, I mean, it should run okay, but I guess what I'm thinking is
The older
if you had it in a critical area,
yeah.
and if we go and spend the money on that, and then we're in a cold snap the week before Christmas, and 2 or 3 of them go. I mean, the colder it is, the more wear and tear you put on the equipment if we get a bad winter.
Once you get past December 1st or next year's budget.
Oh, no, true.
So. But, if we don't spend it here, and we need to shuffle it over to do the chiller, I guess we can do that too. Is that correct? We can't vote on, is it, are they not both maintenance issues?
Well, this is a capital improvement fund, and the repair of the chiller will go in the general fund. You don't have anything in your capital improvement fund right now this year. That would be a budget change. The requirement would be an unforeseen emergency. That count as an unforeseen emergency? I don't know.
we're sort of seeing it, aren't we?
Okay, well, that's why you're here, to slap our hands when we do something we shouldn't have done.
Now, can I just ask one question? I did add to the budget for next year. I had written down 30,000, but then I heard John say 45. Can I get guidance on what would you like to do, 30 or 45?
Well, we've been doing 45, right?
Right, that's right.
Why don't we
Stay with that?
staying with that, yeah.
Okay.
hopefully you don't have to cut it to balance the budget.
Well, that's the capital improvement fund, so that's usually not,
That's
it's
a
just the
different
general fund that's an issue.
So I think we're just gonna go on like we are right now, for another month and another report on it.
Yeah, you can just keep an eye on it, that's fine. Back to, okay, what else you got for us? Right.
On the back side, it's sunset all the time. It's a little more noticeable, so that's kind of good, and most of us faded out. It is the same color. The heat pump and public health, we had an issue where we're going to introduce a drain, and they came back, took a picture of that, and it says the manufacturer says a new pan, so the lead time, patch that hole until they get a new pan, and we're just going to replace the pan. We have boilers, new boilers, replace my station, on the installation of new boilers. One was the gas valve connected to the outside, and another one was in the way the relief valve almost was done. Called CDC on the office, he's coming to take care of it. Those issues have been resolved. We sent some pictures to that, to the state fire marshal. He's going to clear that, we should receive the certificates for that, everything's fine. The fire alarm must be running, like that. And then that's all. I've got this up for years ago, we have our insurance on boilers, and now I like insurance on boilers, and they were supposed to be in the back section on boilers, and they bring it over, they made a dividend, like they did, and they never showed up, and a lot of the committee when they have hard and so, we have a hard work anymore, we're supposed to do it back there. You don't want to plan, we don't want to play hard work, we'll do it. What happened to our insurance company? We don't have it anymore, or what?
I have.
They are certified to do things like insurance company, state fire marshal, inspection should be set down, the invoices discussed, and we're looking at it. Or insurance company goes back, send for that. We made towards my point is, if we get insurance company, because the last aspect which is fine. We're paying insurance company to do this. Where
Is that a yearly inspection?
Every year. You're over partners and show got you don't have any more.
There's your answer, self-storage.
Call the broker, I would think you would call me. No.
Oh, Larry, I don't ever remember hearing Hartford insurance around here since 2006 either.
Yeah, that's what insurance policy on the boiler. I don't think we do.
Question for the agency.
I think the state, I'm not sure about boilers, but I think in a lot of these situations, the state requires a state inspection regardless of whether you have an independent do it or not.
Well, we've been inspected for now, so before the next, I guess if we're gonna get a policy on it, we need to get it budgeted for next year. Yeah, or see if we have it.
I don't think we can, that does not sound familiar to me, unless it's included as a part of our, under the general liability. But it does not sound familiar to me at all. I don't have anything, I don't remember ever processing a bill with a boiler insurance. No.
What does it cover?
Motors, boilers, just depends on what's going on.
So, does something have to blow up, or does that cover regular wear and tear?
They like accidents, the boilers, the air conditioners, they're freezing up. The boiler blows up, there's not anything where it is. Like a furniture.
Right. Okay. I can't hear both of you at the same time. What did you say? Really?
He would come a month or two before the certificate would expire. That would get 2 times, so they were in the state, that they were inspected and everything was like that. He insured our boilers, our wooden boilers, and they also insured our water boilers, and they also insured our pool heaters. They were basically weather off. We have pool heaters that went bad before it was projected time. They prorated that per year, and yes, we receive, I think, 30% or 40% of the cost of that heater. That's a reimbursement for replacing. So, yes, there is some advantage to that.
Charlie?
Our insurance agent usually gives a report to the finance committee on Thursday about the status of our insurance. Be a good question to write to him before then, and then some of us could bring it back to the management.
Okay.
Or we read about it in the minutes when we have a board meeting. Finance committee meets tomorrow, Thursday. Who's on that committee? I don't know anybody.
Do we think we can get a hold of them so that they can report Anita?
Next week. I know you.
I know you're...
I don't know, I have to know you're getting mechanics of equipment,
Well, but
that's not my
is
forte.
it something...
I can ask him what this is
I can go,
about.
when we're done, I can go back over with you too.
Yeah, I don't know what this, I don't know what this means. He's maybe gonna ask me if I can't, that's right. Okay. I mean, I can tell him when I get back.
Okay.
No problem.
Not capable. Any other issues? Anything you want to spend money on? Anybody else know of anything that looks like it needs work? As far as capital improvement, yeah.
Anita says she's say. Did you look like you had something to say?
Well, Kevin, I don't, did you talk to the sheriff about those jail stuff? And I guess I can research it before the, budget hearing, but the lots on the jail. Okay.
Your chiller's still doing okay out here? Okay. I know we've discussed it before.
There was, 2 weeks ago, with the control, basically turned on, it definitely turned fully power on, search. For whatever reason, it did a couple of weeks ago, just had to reset that, to get the power back, fully power on. Like that, control the code, so I don't know why. They have that over here, one that is,
Okay, but structurally it's fine for the most part? Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else on capital improvements or maintenance supervisor report, we will go to office matters. Which ones are still, I don't have my paper with me.
You have volunteer services, EIA, Head Start, and campaign JJJA. And I gave you a copy again of this maintenance cost sheet, which shows at the bottom what they're currently paying and what our current costs are for maintenance.
All these have no restrictions as far as what we set it at is what we set it at. It's not like
Well, I know I did count on last month of all the leads, gave them all to you, but I haven't seen anything, I don't know when anyone on the committee reviewed
I didn't
those
see
leads.
anything.
Okay.
Now, one thing John did bring up is there is no clause in it. There's no clause in there as far as terminating a lease in the middle if for some reason we needed to. You know, no 30-day escape clause or anything. Now, what did you say, John? It says it ends at this time unless otherwise, and then there was no otherwise.
The term of the lease is for a period of 3 years commencing on the first day and automatically renewable on a year-to-year basis unless terminated by either party on a written notice of 90 days. That's the one for the Champaign Construction. So in a sense, I guess that's covered.
And that's the one, John, where we sent them the letter, and we can only increase it by, because we just set 90 days, we can only increase it by $100, so we sent them a letter last year, or last month, and told them, here's your increase. So that was done.
But the others, like ECA, ICAA, or P, or whatever they are, Red Start, says the term of the lease shall be for a period of 3 years, and shall commence on the first day of September 2013, shall terminate at midnight on the 31st day of August 2016, subject to termination and renewal as may be hereinafter set forth, and there's nothing set forth. So that means that neither party can terminate the lease for any reason at all. It's a 3-year lease, and they're obligated to pay for 3 years. We're obligated to have it for 3 years. I think that's a mistake. And I believe the others that we're looking at right now are the same way. Volunteer Services and the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission, I believe, all stand for the same thing. So I think that's an issue that we probably need to look at before we even move forward as far as extending any leases to these people.
So do we want to have that either party could terminate the lease given 30 days notice, 60 days notice?
I guess there's a number of different ways of looking at it, and to be honest with you, I didn't really think about what was put in there. I saw it as a problem, something that I think we need to look at. But I'm not sure exactly what would be appropriate. I mean, you can say by mutual agreement, you can say by written notice of prior to a certain period of time. Some of them it might be a problem. You said 30 days, they might not have 30 days. Let's say one of these we said all of a sudden, well, we need to have them move out because we need the space for whatever it would be or so forth. Well, in 30 days, they might not be able to find another location.
Right.
I think the standard on those contracts is 90.
There might be a state legislative statement about it too.
What? I can't hear.
I said there might be a legislative law about that too, under a lease.
Well, the lease is a contract between two parties.
Yeah, but there is, she's right in a way, but you usually write in what you want the termination party. You don't go by statute.
As
fact,
to
I wasn't
reasons
there.
for term.
Generally, about any of them contracts, they have a back-out clause of 90 days. It says something to the effect of contract can be terminated by either party by providing written notice within 90 days of termination date or something to that effect.
There also can be things in there about terminating the contract as far as reasons by which you might terminate the contract. Do we just terminate the contract as you would with an employee that's hired at will, or do you have to show just cause of some type? In other words, maybe they built a fire in the middle of their place, or having drugs in there, or tearing the place apart, I mean, whatever
Why
kind of misbehavior somebody might have, there's nothing in here right now that covers it.
Why tie your hands?
Yeah.
Leave it open.
Then you should say that for any reason whatsoever.
At the leaseholder's discretion, you can terminate this without cause.
I'm just bringing it up, I'm not saying how it should be.
If you have something without cause, you got the other party has to agree to it at this time because you don't have a lease.
Well, that's why while we're writing the leases, that's why we want to do it now.
Well, I know, but I'm saying is don't say both parties have to, at this point, agree or there is no lease, which means they don't have to stay
Right.
or cannot stay.
somebody like to put it in the form of a motion so that,
Are you going to treat every one of them alike? Because there's different kind of work here and different demands on the facility by the leasing.
Well, 3 years ago, we tried to standardize those leases so that they all pretty much had the same wording in them with the exception of the consortium and the FSA because they all read differently and it was very difficult. So that was the purpose of what we did with that subcommittee 3 years ago to kind of standardize.
Right, and that's, I believe that's the form that these are, but it's probably something that we overlooked or
Right.
didn't cover.
Right. And I'm just wondering if we shouldn't look to Jim Devine for that wording in the lease. I agree that it should be in there, but I'm just wondering if we shouldn't look to Mr. Devine for that wording in a contract.
I'd be fine. I think in all honesty, can't wait until next month to finalize this. I mean, to get together, get him and get that taken care of.
And again, I didn't bring my file, and do we have anything with those termination dates on us in front of us? I don't think we do.
I think
We
they
all
were...
mentioned August 30th.
August, we got that August 31st.
Charlie?
I think the idea that they set out here was all right, to standardize them on what dates they come up for renewal. The different entities, different uses for the building calls for different reasons to terminate or not terminate. Time length particularly.
Well, I'm thinking that time length, what do you mean?
So I think a 90-day notice or 30-day
Oh,
notice.
the termination amount,
Yeah, somebody could get out in 30 days where others will take 6 months or a year.
Well, on the other hand, if there's a really egregious infraction,
Oh, that's different.
you know, we want them out, you know, so that's why I'm saying again that I really think that there might be some boilerplate language that Mr. Devine would have on, you know, be able to plug in
What you're saying
there.
isn't included in here right now.
I understand. I agree that it should be in there. You know, I don't know, maybe it'd be something like a drunken Christmas party that somebody got thrown through a window. I don't expect any of our renters to do that, but stranger things have happened.
Well, quite honestly, there have been some improper conduct on some of these offices.
I'm aware of
For
that.
hours, and I think that's something that could apply to this also.
I'm aware of that. Aware of that.
So then if there's improper conduct, does that shorten the length of period?
Yeah, right to right now in some cases.
I mean, if there's illegal activity, is it immediate?
Yeah.
I would think so.
And I guess, how do you determine being charged as not being convicted?
Well,
You don't have to be convicted in a situation like that if we determine that there's improper conduct that we don't want here, and that's a part of the lease, and it can be terminated.
yeah, like
Without that,
if,
you couldn't.
right.
Basically, a morals clause for terminating.
Nah, I don't. That's opening a whole can of worms, because under whose interpretation of what is or isn't egregious or moral or,
Trying to figure out what we
I
want.
mean, you can't, you know,
I think Donna's suggestion of getting together with Mr. Devine.
And I think that it should be broad enough and open-ended enough that anything we don't like, you're gone. We don't have to prove nothing. We don't like it, you're gone.
I'm sure that he would have some ideas.
Right.
Can I
And we
make a
need-
motion that we follow that path and get that taken care of and review this then at the next meeting?
That,
Finalize it then?
if
And
that's the motion you wish to make.
referring it to Divine.
I'll second that. And we think we need to impress upon him that we need an answer before the August meeting, because he might have vacations and bicycle rides and all kinds of things going. Maybe even a trial or something going on, you know.
He's already licensed.
So,
So, did you get a motion?
no.
Could someone state it for Amanda?
I move that we contact Mr. Devine to review all of the aspects of the, including a termination clause in these leases, the leases that are up for renewal. And that'll be done promptly so that it'll be available to us for consideration at our next meeting in August.
And I already seconded his motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay. Claims.
I move we pay the claim as presented.
Second.
Crow?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Hackstarden? Joyce?
Yep.
Barron?
Yes. Is there any old business? Yes.
I want to make you aware of one, the courthouse museum, the water damage has been canceled. We actually have the estimate for $12,000 there. Got a check from the insurance company for $11,000 minus my $1,000 deductible. And we actually had someone come in and they did a bid on taxpayer repairs, not other vendors had just come through and said, we estimate $12,000, no for sure, and start breaking out. This person came and said, no, this is all you need, it's like $100. They're gonna take cash for it, and there's no claim. So we have no claim out of that whole thing.
And so then we returned the check for
Yes.
$11,000?
Yes, it did. Yep.
Somebody asked me why we didn't keep it. I said, we can't.
Yeah, illegal.
That's issue one, and then issue two is with the passing of this month's budget, I got optimistic and contacted my contact at the CEO office in Springfield. I now find out if we're getting our money, or from last year, they owe us $58,000, and he said no. Funding them was not included in the job yet, but so we still wait.
So we have to move money in next year's
Well,
budget.
that has to be for November 30th. The general fund again has to, see, I thought we're reversed December 1st. We had to do it around year end, but because that bank account fund cash balance is in arrears, it's negative. That can't be when you publish your financial statements November 30th. So I did an entry for November 30th, move money from the general fund to cover that cash shortfall. I will have to do that same entry if we don't get paid by November 30th again this year.
Let's go back to this old courthouse museum. So we had some water damage.
Yes.
Who looked at it?
Sir Pro and with an adjuster from Chubb Insurance, our insurance company.
And then,
And Larry was.
and then someone else had someone else come in and said they were wrong?
Well, at the last management meeting, they were here and gave a report, and we said it'd be nice to get more estimates. Yes, Larry?
Which I did. And I told them that good contractor, 3.15. And I said, that's no problem. But get on now. You get the hard day, and you don't and then they got new contractors that work. You can go now. So that's it.
Did you go look at it? Is the work done?
Well, who's making these decisions? I mean,
Well,
Who's approving the work? That's what this committee's here for. I'm not yelling, I mean, I'm not griping at you, but isn't that part of what we're supposed to be doing?
isn't there, they're responsible for
We're
maintenance.
still responsible for the building and that property, not them.
They're responsible for maintenance according to the lease.
Who's got the insurance on that building?
We have the insurance, but it's not an insurance claim.
So that board shouldn't be making decisions on the insurance that we pay, that this committee and this board, the county board pays. Somebody else shouldn't have been making that decision, it should have come in there.
If they're handling it as a maintenance issue, because the insurance did come here when they talked to the insurance. And that's when we said, get some other bids or whatever. But if they handled it as a maintenance issue, maintenance is their responsibility. And it no longer affects the insurance, correct? So,
So we don't have any oversight on that.
um,
So we don't know who did the work, if it was done, or if it was even done in a proper fashion.
well,
This first one to improve.
We could have had my neighbor Joe do it for,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason we go through these steps and get qualified people that have, their bonds or insurances or whatever. I mean,
how often does that lease renew? Or is it just 100 years? I guess that's, I don't know exactly how the lease states, but if it's a 100-year lease, they've probably got at least 50 to go.
I think we've had this conversation before, and I think the lease says that, if remember, that they're responsible for maintenance. I think they had a new roof put on, too, several years ago, didn't they? Or part of the roof? Part of a roof, yeah, and they're responsible for that. They've had some tuck pointing done. They're responsible for that kind of stuff. We own the building and insure it.
I don't think there's anything that would say that we couldn't negotiate a new lease with them if they were, particularly if they were agreeable.
You want to take that maintenance over again?
I'm just making a comment. It's up to the committee.
Well, I think you can always revise it. Right.
We went through, there's some problems with the upper roof too. Yeah.
Well,
Break down the insurance, so much for classes, so much for things, so much for things. I think they did look at that as a
so what would your suggestion be as to how to handle it?
You're gonna have to do what we're gonna happen.
I think the runner may be responsible for it, but there's got to be oversight. I mean, it's almost like renting your house to someone. You don't let them do just anything they want to do without some type of accountability.
So, how do you want it handled in the future?
I think this committee's got to have oversight on maintenance issues there.
So,
We own the building. Ultimately, we're responsible for that building.
You probably have to try and negotiate a new lease.
and what is your cutoff point? they put on parcel.
We don't know what the old lease says, do we?
I say probably would have to negotiate a new lease. I don't know what the lease says.
Me either.
I don't know who does.
I guess, at what point
Probably on the adventure club.
do you want it to kick in that we have oversight?
That would be the best.
If it's a $500 cost, if it's a $5,000 cost,
Well, look kind of fishy, he had something that was supposed to cost how much. Now we get it done with nothing. See what I mean?
so,
One of these days, insurance.
yeah, so that's why, how do you want, you say we need to be involved, but what, how? That,
Probably the first step is to get a copy of the lease and review it, see what it says.
Because I know-
Plays into what we're talking about.
I know one person said we need to just sell it and be done with it, so, that's one person's opinion.
Several years ago, we had an issue, and it was sort of a brouhaha between the courthouse and here. It was a small thing. They filed an insurance claim on their own, and it became an issue. This time, I see them actually trying to work with the board. They came to us. They brought their representatives. What happened in this case, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, weren't you kind of bowled over by ServPro? They wanted to start... Huh? No, you weren't, but they were. He was gung-ho. We need to do this, we need to do... Oh, the adjuster from the insurance company was?
Brian, my conversation.
It wasn't ServPro?
It was ServPro and the adjuster.
Well,
They work together.
the adjuster is going to do, whoever owns the property hires or fires whoever does it. The adjuster does within whatever the insurance says. If it's covered and they say this is what it is, then he's not the expert. He can't say yes or no to most things. So if somebody says this needs to be done and he says no, and like this wall needs to be tore out, he says no, and then there's mold there later, it's on him. So he's going to go along with a lot of what whoever the professional is says.
Well, and that was
They
kind
can't
of,
and do something on their own, they should have come back to us.
that was kind of my point. Larry went out and got qualified people, and your argument about mold is very valid.
Yeah.
Them walls could be full of mold, and a year from now, they're coming back telling us we gotta find $30,000 to rebuild all the walls in place. And I don't know, I guess, I missed last month's meeting, I apologize, I still work for 11, but, I'm kind of still wondering who made the decision to send this check back without taking the proper steps of some form of oversight.
I talked to Kyle, and I told them what had happened, and I sent the check back.
But you were told.
Right. I am the insurance agent, and our broker.
Yeah, I mean, I saw no
I
reason.
thought I was covered.
Yeah, I saw no reason to keep it. Obviously, Kyle didn't see any reason to keep it.
Our broker didn't see any reason to do this.
But I think with that kind of money involved, it's something that should have been brought to the board or the committee, at the minimum brought to the committee.
I go back to what I said before. I think you gotta get a copy of the lease and read that first. We have a good understanding of what's in the lease in order to know where we stand with them, where they stand with us, and determine from that point if you wanna make modifications and negotiate a new lease or not. There's a whole host of things that could go wrong over there that may or may not be covered in that lease. The word maintenance is certainly subject to definition.
Right.
Especially in a case like that, in an old building like that, you may get to the point where maintenance is no longer appropriate. You may be having to undergo major renovations, maybe something along the lines of what you just said about the mold.
Well, and I don't want to cause them undue problems, but
You need to know what the lease says first. That's my point.
And they did have ServPro bring in big fans and dehumidifiers, so I think that didn't they, Larry? They did bring in dehumidifiers and big fans, so hopefully that plaster walling was appropriately dried out.
I think it was a one-time deal. No inflation in that building, so, it's not gonna graduate my land.
So you're not, it's not a lot of material there that's gonna grow mold.
Not a lot, it's gonna hold moisture. And the way the woods are, the moisture anyway, was gonna be,
Did they get the roof issue fixed?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion on this or any other old business? Any new business? Do I hear a motion?
to adjourn.
Mr. Joyce and Mr. Meeting adjourned. Are all in favor?
Aye.